These next two steps of application, applying the primer and applying the clear coat, are really two steps in one. Why is this, you ask? Because immediately following the application of the primer, we need to start applying the clear coat. Let me explain further. Using 80 degrees Fahrenheit as a benchmark, you have 3 to 5 minutes from the start of applying the primer to the start in applying the clear coat. We also use the dry to touch test as another indicator before proceeding with the clear coat. What is the dry to touch test? If you take your index finger and touch the wet primer and it leaves a small print in the primered surface, but no primer transfers to your fingertip, then you can begin applying the clear coat. If primer does transfer to your fingertip, then wait until no primer transfer is evident. Once that occurs, begin applying the clear coat. The 3 to 5 minute wait between coats of primer and top coat is very important and must be adhered to. Make sure you have some idea in your mind how the time is progressing. The only time the 3 to 5 minute rule changes are when the temperatures are a little bit cooler. That's when the dry to touch test will help in determining the time to start applying clear coat. Let's get back to the application of the primer. The mixing ratio of etching primer base to etching primer hardener is 4 parts base to 1 part hardener. You can purchase small plastic mixing containers that will enable you to accurately measure these small amounts. However, we recommend that you mix the etching primer hardener right into the etching primer base container, thereby ensuring an accurate measurement. Once mixed together, there is no need to worry about a shortened pot life or work time. The material will remain liquid for hours. Once you have mixed the etching primer catalyst into the etching primer base, set aside for a couple of minutes. Gather your brushes, foam roller, and paint trays. If your intention is to apply the primer with a foam roller, then pour some into the plastic paint tray. If your intention is to apply the primer with a brush, then pour some into a small plastic container, or just work out of the etching primer base container. Depending on the size of the running gear project you are working on, a 2.5-inch disposable brush works very well. Again, depending on the size of the running gear project you are going to coat, the 4-inch foam roller works best. Remember this when applying to the primer. Brush or roll out all sags. Now, let's start priming. When priming the propellers, we have found that starting in the hub area and working out towards the end of the blade works best. Starting at the area of the hub that is located where the blades join the hub, this area is commonly referred to as the blade root. Prime the entire hub area, the blade face, and the blade back. Rotate the propeller and coat the hub, blade face, and blade back of the next blade. Chances are the 3 to 5 minute window is about to become reality. So let's get geared up to apply the clear coat. Before applying the clear coat, take another wooden paint stick and stir the clear coat so you have a smooth, homogeneous mixture in the can. Okay, now go back to the area of the hub where you first applied the primer and start brushing the clear coat. Apply with a brush only. No foam roller application used here. The clear coat should start at the halfway point of the hub, leaving half the hub in primer. Brush the clear coat out from the center point of the hub towards the tip of the blade. Make sure there are no heavy runs or sags in the clear coat. You will have anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes to go back and touch up areas of the propeller that were initially missed with the clear coat. Make sure the surface is completely coated with clear coat. The primer man can assist you in looking for areas that you missed with the clear coat. These areas will appear dull in luster. The clear coat is applied and brushed out much like conventional varnish. Okay, now that we've shown you how to coat these two areas of the hub, the front and back of the blades with primer and clear coat, continue on in the same manner with the rest of the propeller. Now when we get back to the area of the hub that we initially started with primer and clear coat, remember we only coated with clear coat half the hub area. Now that we are back at the beginning of where we first started reprime, meaning applying another coat of primer over the hub area that has already been primed but has not been coated with clear coat. The reapplication of primer will reactivate the first application of primer. Why do we do this? Most likely the first coat of primer that was applied to the hub area had been on the propeller for longer than the 3 to 5 minute recoat window allows, thereby surpassing the important time frame of recoatability with clear coat. When you have finished coating the entire propeller with the clear coat, give the propeller one more visual inspection just to make sure there are no areas that you might have missed. And that is how you coat a propeller with the PropSpeed system. Now, with regarding to coating the rest of the running gear, you should use the same application techniques. The application of PropSpeed is identical to the rest of the running gear as we just learned on the propellers. The propellers are generally the most difficult and awkward areas of the running gear to coat, so the rest of the running gear should be much easier. Once the running gear has been coated, PropSpeed requires a minimum of 8 hours to dry before launching. Unlike traditional bottom paints, PropSpeed's effectiveness is not adversely affected by sitting out of the water. Here are some helpful application tips to remember when applying PropSpeed. First, PropSpeed's success begins with the 80 grit scratch profile. Make sure you spend the time abrading the surface. This is an important step. Don't script on the effort. Remember to remove all the solids in the bottom of the primer container and stir it into a homogeneous mixture before applying the primer hardener. Be sure to keep track of time between primer and clear coat. The 3 to 5 minute recoat window is critical. Be sure and brush out sags or drips in the primer before applying the clear coat. Install all zincs before applying PropSpeed. When coating the blades of the propeller, remember to start at the hub area and work your way out to the end of the blade. The PropPrep solution does not contain corrosive inhibitors, so the treated surface should be primed and coated with the clear coat as soon as possible after being treated, and definitely within 4 hours. When applying the clear coat, be sure to stretch the material out, just as you would with the last coat of varnish on any bright work. We highly recommend that one person apply the etching primer while another person apply the clear coat. After completing the application of clear coat, visually observe all areas, ensuring there are no misses or gaps. The clear coat will dry to a glossy finish, helping the applicator find any uncoated areas. PropSpeed USA offers a comprehensive instructional manual of which can be found on our website at www.propspeedusa.com. You will also find on our website additional information such as where PropSpeed can be purchased, customer testimonials, press releases, and MSDS on all of our PropSpeed products. In closing, what makes PropSpeed so unique is that it really works. Over the years, there have been many products that have been used in the boating industry that have claimed to prevent growth on the running gear. Many of them actually have worked and prevented growth, but they had a tough time adhering to what they were applied to. Other products had good adhesion to the running gear, but never really prevented the buildup of marine growth. It is PropSpeed's unique combination of tenacious adhesion with the primer system and the repellent of marine growth with the clear coat that makes PropSpeed the leader in running gear coatings today.